All right, so today we continue our series, which is a commentary on the book Glimpses of a Golden Childhood by Osho. And if you've been following the series, if you've been listening to these stories, you're starting to get a picture as to just how out of this world this kid is, this anomaly that is Osho. And if you hear how he related to his teachers, how he related to his family, some of the mischief that he caused, some of the confrontations, some of the problems that he had, the adventures that he went on, you hear all this and you think, is he just being obtuse? Is he just pushing out? Is he just forcing things to go his way? And of course, not exactly. The way I see it, and what I see, is that he's actually just pushing to truth. He's using truth as his ground, not his own agenda, not his own idea, not his own desire, but truth. He's someone that really puts truth at the heart of the situation and works relentlessly to get to that. Like, what is the point of the situation? What is the truth of the matter? Just like when Osho was told to use his right hand when he was naturally left-handed at school. He forced and said, well, what's the truth of the matter? Why is it that he has to use his right hand? Is it scientifically proven that using your right hand is better than using your left hand? And in that case, well, you can see, well, he just didn't want to use his right hand. That would be a discomfort to him. And sure, you could put it that way. You could see it on that level. But on another level, you could see that, well, there's a profound truth there. There's a thirst for truth. There's a thirst, a push to get to the bottom line. And that's what's driving Osho. It's truth that drove Osho. And there is one fact that is quite illustrative of his commitment to truth, and that is that he is circumcised. So he was circumcised at the age of 27, and he went through the circumcision process because he wanted to enter into a Muslim Sufi order to speak with religious scholars. He'd actually turned up at a temple and said, I want to speak with you about your religion, your scriptures, your things. And they said, no, you can't come in because you're not a Sufi. You're not circumcised. And he said, well, circumcise me. I'll go with it. Do it. And to be circumcised at the age of 27, that's very painful. And not only that, but apparently they'd not done a very good job of it, which had caused him up to 6 months of discomfort and pain. Right? You can actually do the circumcision process and do it in a clean, sterile environment with the proper tools, and you can actually botch it, right? You can actually do it wrong. There is a degree of skill in surgery. And it's quite a uncomfortable place for a man to lose his skin, for him to have that happen. Like, what happens when you get aroused during that healing period? What happens every time you need to piss, right? Just think, every time that you need to piss, there's going to be pain. It's very much there's no word for it. I mean, how do you sort of, I don't need to really describe any more for you to sense how discomforting that is. And there is a whole sort of theological side to circumcision, which is, giving up the best part of you, or sacrifice, or whatever, right? And you can say all of that stuff and it's all this big thing, but really, it is just a painful thing. And Osho went through it on principle. He actually went through it so that he could get into the Sufi order and ask his questions and talk about scriptures. And actually what happened is he turned up and started arguing, and he knew that they would argue, and he just left. And he sort of knew all along, well, you're just going to argue. You're just going to do that, but I'm still going to test it to be on principle, to show that, well, I do have skin in the game, right? To be circumcised brings a whole new meaning to the term, do you have skin in the game? What's it worth to you? What does it really mean? Do you really want to fight for truth? Do you really want to stand up for yourself? Because all of these times, Osho wouldn't have known exactly if things would have worked out to his advantage. There were many times when it didn't turn out to his advantage, right? He got expelled from school. He got punished. He got things taken away from him. There were all sorts of things that he had to endure because he stood up to his truth, because he really wanted to get to the point of the matter. Like, what's the point of the issue? Why are we even here in this situation? Specifically, like, why are we in this classroom? Why are we in this temple speaking about these scriptures? Why are we on this train? Why are we speaking to these people? And all the rest of it. So that's just a little bit of an illustration as to what it meant for Osho to stand up to truth. All right, I'm trying to keep this short. So if you'd like to hear more, make sure you subscribe and tune in to the rest of the series, because this is a multi-part series on the book Glimpses of a Golden Childhood. So when you're ready, click on over into the next episode. Chances are by the time you're hearing this, the next episode is already out. So we'll see you there in the next part. Thanks very much. Hope you have a nice rest of your day, and we'll be back soon with more.